Hi guys, welcome to my revenge stories channel, Revenge with BIZZLE. This new video is gonna blow your mind, trust me it will. So let's get into the video.
My name is Bridgette Wright, and when I was 11, my mother Claire married a man named Geoffrey Ashford. Charming, wealthy, respectable solicitor in Winchester. Mom was a florist, kind, gentle, too trusting. My father had passed when I was 6. Mom raised me alone for 5 years. Then Geoffrey came along. At first, he was perfect. Took us on holidays, bought me books, called Mom my darling Claire. But after the wedding, something shifted. The verbal attacks started small. "Claire, you've put on weight, haven't you? Perhaps less pudding? Don't embarrass me in front of my colleagues with your silly flower shop stories." Mom would shrink, apologize, try harder. By the time I was 13, it was constant. Geoffrey controlled everything. Mom's bank account, her friends, even what she wore. "You're not going out in that, are you? You look like a char lady." I tried defending her once. "Don't speak to my mom like that." Geoffrey turned to me, ice in his eyes. "This is between adults, Bridgette. Mind your place." Mom grabbed my hand. "It's all right, love. He's just tired." He wasn't tired. He was cruel. At 16, I went to university, escaped to Manchester, left Mum behind with him. Biggest regret of my life. She'd call occasionally, voice small. "I'm fine, Bridgette. Don't worry about me." But I heard it, the emptiness. Then one Tuesday, she didn't answer my call. Or the next day, or the next. I rang Geoffrey. "Where's Mum?" "Your mother's at a spa retreat, needed some rest." Something felt wrong. I drove home that weekend, let myself in with my old key. The house was pristine, too pristine. Mum's drawer arrangements, she always had fresh flowers, were gone. Her favorite teacup, the one with violets, was missing. Geoffrey appeared. "Bridgette, I told you your mother's away." "Where?" "That's not your concern." I went to the police. "My mother's missing. She wouldn't just leave without telling me." They did a welfare check. Geoffrey showed them text messages from Mum saying she needed space. But I knew. Mum barely used her mobile. Those texts weren't from her. I broke into the house while Geoffrey was at work. Searched everywhere. Found her phone, hidden in his study drawer. The texts he'd sent to himself, from her phone. Then I went to the garden. Mum's garden. Her pride and joy. Where she grew roses and lavender. There was fresh soil, in a patch where nothing grew anymore. A patch roughly 6 feet long. I called the police. They excavated the garden. Found Mum. Buried where her roses used to bloom. Cause of death, blunt force trauma. Defensive wounds on her hands. She'd fought back. Geoffrey was arrested within hours. Claimed it was an accident. She fell down the stairs. I panicked. I didn't know what to do. The forensic evidence told a different story. Repeated blows, strangulation marks, deliberate. The trial was agony. Geoffrey's barrister painted Mum as mentally unstable. Mrs. Ashford had become increasingly paranoid, making wild accusations. Lies, all lies. Then they called me to testify. "Miss Wright, did your mother ever express fear of the defendant?" I took a breath. My mother was terrified of him. He controlled every aspect of her life, belittled her, isolated her from friends. When I left for university, she begged me not to go. But I was 16 and selfish. I left her alone with him. And he killed her. My voice cracked, but I didn't look away from Geoffrey. He killed the kindest woman I've ever known. And then he buried her in the garden she loved. The jury was crying. Geoffrey stared at the table. Guilty. Murder in the first degree. Life. Minimum 25 years. But I wasn't done. Geoffrey had built his entire identity on respectability, his reputation, his standing in the community. I made sure everyone knew. Wrote to the Law Society. Detailed his conviction. His assets, the house, the savings, were victims of crime proceeds. Frozen. Then awarded to me as Mum's sole heir. I sold the house. Every piece of furniture. Every painting he'd loved. Donated half to domestic violence charities. Used the rest to open a floristry school. In Mum's name. Claire Wright Memorial School of Floristry. I visited Geoffrey once in HMP Winchester. He looked diminished. Grey. "Bridgette, thank God. I need you to appeal. This conviction is wrong." "Stop." I placed a photo on the table. Mum. In her flower shop. Smiling. "That's the woman you killed. That's the woman who loved flowers because they brought people joy. That's the woman who stayed with you because she believed in second chances." I slid another photo across. The floristry school. Students arranging bouquets. I sold your house, your car, everything you valued. And I built something beautiful with it. Something that helps people. Something that honors her. You tried to bury her legacy in the garden. I turned your legacy into fertilizer for hers. Geoffrey's face crumbled. You can't. I already did. I stood. You'll spend the next 25 years knowing that every student who graduates from Claire Wright Memorial learned to create beauty from nothing, just like Mum did. And you're nothing. Just a footnote in her story. The villain who lost.
Geoffrey died in prison 6 years into his sentence. Heart attack. No one came to his funeral. I didn't attend. The floristry school is thriving. We've had 200 graduates. Every Mother's Day, we deliver free bouquets to domestic violence shelters in Mum's memory. I visit her grave every Sunday, bring fresh flowers. The garden where he buried her, I had it completely redug, planted a memorials garden, Claire's garden, open to the public, where her roses bloom again. Geoffrey thought he could destroy her, bury her, erase her. But I'm my mother's daughter, and we don't stay buried. We bloom, even in the darkest soil. He took her life, I took his legacy, and built her stronger. That's not revenge. That's resurrection.